It's another day at Oregon's indoor shooting range in Lebanon, Oregon, with AccuShoot, including AccuShoot's very own Avery, an excellent shot. We're going to do some A/B testing using AccuShoot to give us some hard numbers to look at differences between the standard Rost Martin RM1C and the RM1C comp with that chunk-ported barrel. We're running 3 different drills, looking at 3 different aspects of the gun with 2 different shooters each, trying to get some numbers as well as some feels to see what kind of differences, advantage, etc. the port on the RM1C comp provides. Other than that, the 2 guns are exactly the same.
GB Guns!
Safety on.
Pretty nice.
Feels good.
I'm missing a malfunction cost.
Finger straight. Safety on.
Turn 6. Turn 6.
What a difference.
Straight. Safety on.
It's Norma ammo.
Finger straight. Safety on.
Aftershot thoughts from Circle Rush.
The comp, I can feel the recoil reduction. The flash on the gun is the exact same as the stock. I don't know what it is, giant fireball coming out of the front of that gun.
Yeah, so we tried filming this actually a couple weeks ago with different ammo. That footage ended up being a wash. This is Norma 115 grain. I remember Norma's not the same Norma they were a couple years ago. They're now owned by Beretta. Some things have changed. We've had, let's see, in the first 100 rounds, we've had 3 failures to fire. And it seems flashy as heck, but as a result, to your point, the comp isn't giving it any more flash than we're getting out of the basic one. So kind of an interesting thing, and something we noticed last time that I think needs addressing. There's lots of lore about ports causing night blindness. We're shooting in relatively low light. Are you losing the target through flash?
Not right now, mainly because it is an illuminated target. But I think with the amount of flash that there is there, I think I could see the outline of that after it's gone if I'm shooting into pitch black.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had a light on my weapon and I'm shooting in low light with a light, that's not gonna be a problem. But I think if you're trying to focus on something pitch black and see an outline, and you shoot, you're probably gonna have a hard time reacquiring that black figure.
This is kind of the conclusion I came to myself last time, and that is, if it's so dark that the flash is going to blind you, you probably can't identify your target. So why are you shooting in the first place?
Yep.
I myself have been told many times that lore about ports causing night blindness, and it's going to be, that's why you shouldn't have a port on a carry gun or defense gun. But the illumination of the screen is equal to or less than what most modern defensive weapon lights would provide on a target, and we're still able to see it. But that's so far. Let's see what happens at speed. Good rhythm. A 1-4. I always nerd out on those. So we think we found a bad mag. The 1.4 in there. Fast misses. Another malfunction with that ammo. Terrible shots. Embarrassing.
Finger straight, safety on.
Horrible. Oof. DQ. Afterthoughts on the transition. First off, I think we're going to move away from that Norma for the third drill. It's ruining this too much. And Avery's been collecting up the ejected rounds. Primer strike is good, and they are firing on second attempt. It's just, I think it's just bad ammo. But on to transitioning. Did you feel much of a difference?
No. The gun shoots well. As blocky as it is and how it like looks when you pick it up, it actually shoots really nice. I did notice like same thing with the Circle Rush. I do feel the recoil brought down with that cut in the front.
Okay.
It does feel a lot less like I have to fight the gun.
Yeah.
Overall, so it does make enough of a difference that it's noticeable, but I think in terms of result, you'd have to shoot a lot of rounds to like get that small change. I think both guns are pretty close in performance, but I do feel better feeling the recoil punch because it's helping me bring that gun back down.
Yeah,
so
it does.
It's more comfortable.
Especially because off camera we noticed that at speed we have opposite errors. Avery tends to start going high, I start to go low, so it's more helpful for correcting a little bit of hitting high than it is for my error of hitting low. It just pushed me down lower. It does indeed feel flatter. The next challenge, Bubbles Plus. It'll be really interesting because you've got moving targets, and we've noticed in the past that having a red dot on is certainly an advantage with Bubbles Plus, because then you can, if the target's descending, you can still have it in your window, whereas with irons, there's a chance of losing that. Both these guns have irons, and we've got some flash, although we'll be changing from that normal 115 grain to some PMC 124 grain. In the past, I think that was less flashy. Well,
yeah, I think with the flash, this is going to be where that I might run into the issue of talking about flash messing up your vision, your sight. Another thing that sucks is I was thinking about when you're talking about red dot, you put that dot where you want it, you can put it in the bottom left corner, you can put it where you need to as to lead that target off.
Yeah.
With the pistol, you're shooting fast, you're putting everything center mass. That's really where it goes. And if you're trying to adjust with irons that quickly, it doesn't look the same as doing it with a red dot for sure.
Absolutely, and these both these pistols are before Ross Martin moved to including night sights as an option. So they're just dark, and we're just looking at some black. The great thing about the flash, though, is it really confirms your sight picture when you shot.
I know I missed.
Yeah, in front of there's this nice bright orange, and you can see your sights are not quite on. But all right, let's see how Circle Rush goes, or Bubbles Plus.
Safety on.
It's got such a funny ejection pattern. One of those rounds came up, went straight up into the air and bounced off the top of my head.
That last shot snuck in time. I was zoning out.
Finger straight. Safety on.
That's a good run.
Yeah, I was losing the front sight. Be interesting to see with the extra flash how that goes. Emergency mag.
Finger straight. Safety on.
That was a really good run.
Yeah, I had more misses, but I could feel the comp. It smells like barbecue. We're no longer new to the Bubbles Plus.
Yeah.
What'd you think running these two?
Just the only thing that fell apart was my grip. The grip fell apart as I got higher into the round count towards the end there. I had my grip here, and I could just feel my support hand by the end of it was sitting here. I could have readjusted, but I just wanted to see how far it would actually slide. Mm-hmm. The grip texture is still there. Mm-hmm. It works, but I think for high round count drills, something like this might not exactly be designed for, a small carry gun like that. So that's what I noticed for the most part. If I had a bigger gun, more aggressive stippling, wouldn't happen, but that's the only thing that fell apart. Honestly, everything else, any of those misses, that was just me rushing a shot or not putting my sights where they needed to be. The guns felt good still. The trigger was good. The sights were on, so.
For me, I lose the sights every once in a while because they are just black looking at the screen. But the comp model, it was definitely easier to stay on. Like I felt more confident taking out the slack for the next shot as soon as I was finished with the first one, because I knew that the circle wouldn't be too far gone from where it was the last time I was tracking.
Yeah.
That was, interestingly enough for me, the drill where I felt the comp advantage most between the two. We have an idea of doing something a little extra just to see a comp difference, and that is to run a bill drill with some super soft PMC 115. We were using 124 in that last drill, and then some Winchester 115 grain. Those of you that have seen my 34 load study from a couple years ago, there's a massive difference in muzzle energy coming out of some of these loads, and Winchester tends to be the hottest. This service grade stuff is way up there. So in theory, if a port is going to be blowing gas, the hot ammo should make a big difference.
Yeah. We'll
see if it impacts our results or if we feel a difference.
Straight. Safety on.
It's pretty good.
Of course, it was all just above the circle.
But look at that rhythm, both 1.7s. Yeah, 4 1.7s.
Straight. Safety on.
Did you feel it?
I felt it. It's actually more of a punch and a shock to my hand. Not like a, hit, like, how do I explain it? I could feel it vibrate more in my hand because the round had more energy coming out.
Huh.
But it did feel faster. I guess that's the best word to use. It just felt like I could run the gun a little bit harder.
Yeah, like that's what I felt too. Sometimes it inspires you to just
shoot a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah.
Straight. Safety on.
Felt fairly mild.
That was really good. Yeah, look at that.
1.7s.
All 1.7s.
Damn.
Safety on.
I definitely felt more punch in the hand. That had more recoil. And either I was squeezing or the comp was pushing me down. Is it all 1.7s again?
All 1.7s.
Same speed.
Yep, just
Yeah.
I think your on target is a 1.2 something. So you're just 0.2 slower getting to target, but
Yeah.
everything else is the exact same.
And it pushed me down more. So take that as evidence of one, what I've already shown in that article, there is a difference in 115 grain range ammo, and two, if you've got a port, it's a matter of matching the gas to your shooting style.
Thank you to our Patreon supporters. And I do to level. Derek S. Jr., Joseph T. LG Peter A. Tom Sky King. Brian Hewitt.